Hello and welcome to Better Together with Shinrai Sensei, and today another English lesson. Alright, so we've got a few definitions on the board this time. Won't be a listen and repeat episode unless you want to practice your English. But today is going to be more focused on grammar and just some fundamentals of the English language that will help you for learning how to read, write, and get in a more advanced programs, maybe if you're trying to come to the United States to study, or maybe you're in, a school that just has a very well developed English program and you want to kind of get ahead of the curve, right? So here's just a few definitions we'll go over, and we will hopefully be able to go ahead and have a little bit of entertainment. If I can try to make this entertaining, I will. But for now, let's get into these definitions and kind of give you guys a basic introduction to English, right? All right. So, first we're going to start with a preposition, right? Now, preposition shows direction, location, or time, but it can also be used to introduce an object, right? Direction, location, or time also introduces an object. Not necessarily all of them at once or one of them at a time, just that is what a preposition does, though. It shows how, shows from the east, from the west, from the north, from the south, kind of thing. Or it says, hey, he is here, whatever, right? So preposition shows direction, location, time. Also, it introduces an object, if you want it to. Now, the object in question is the noun, which is a person, place, or thing. Pretty simple on the noun. Person, place, or thing. Now, an adjective is a descriptor for the noun. So, if you're trying to describe, let's say this book, well, I can say the blue book, or the small book, or I could say the book with yellow letters, right? Any one of those describes the book, which is the noun in this case. So the book is the noun, and the adjective is the way you would describe it. So the book with, let's see, 500 pages. The book with 500 pages, right? Or the light blue book, or the book with the yellow letters, right? There we go. So the noun is the book, the adjective is describing what the book looks like, so that you can either picture it in your head, or so that you can find it if you're talking to somebody about, like, hey, I need the book. Well, what book? I need the book with the yellow letters, right? Helps people find it, or it just helps you to identify it if you see it, or it just helps you to get an image in your mind if you're just trying to, like, read a story. Then the adjective's there to paint a picture for you so that you can imagine what it is that thing looks like. Then you have an adverb, which can describe the verb, which we'll get to in a minute, the noun, the verb, an adjective, or another adverb. So an adverb could say, like, he runs quickly, or he speaks eloquently, right? But you can also describe an adjective like that. He is astonishingly tall. So, like, you meet your favorite basketball player. He's astonishingly tall. Well, the noun is he, in this case. He is the noun. Then tall is an adjective, but now you're spicing that adjective up by saying he's not just tall, he's astonishingly tall, right? So the adverb can be used on the adjective in that sense. It could be used directly to a verb. So he runs quickly. He reads, he reads quickly. He speaks clearly. These are all things the adverb can do to the verb. And then he quickly, I'm not 100% sure about the examples of adverbs being used on adverbs. Maybe somebody can enlighten me in the comments section. But I I'm having trouble coming up with one off the top of my head. But yeah, so those are some examples of like how an adverb can spice up an adjective or spice up a verb. And the verb, as the adverb being used was previously suggesting, is the action being taken by whatever the noun is or being done to the noun. So in a sentence, you have a actor and a subject, right? So the acting participant of this sentence is going to act on the subject. That's why they're called, the subject is called the subject, because whatever the verb in the sentence is being done to the subject of the sentence by whoever is the acting party of the sentence, right? So, verb is the action or a state of being or an event. Adverb describes the verb or describes an adjective or another adverb. And a noun is described by an adjective. That's all the adjective is there for, is describing a noun. And the noun is a person, place, or thing. Okay? Now, you have phrases and clauses, right? Now, a phrase means that there is no action from the subject of the sentence. And the clause is there is action from the subject of that particular part of the sentence. I shouldn't say it's from the sentence, but the particular part of the sentence, right? So, a couple examples here. After school ended is a clause. And a phrase is in the nick of time. So, phrases are going to be used more commonly to describe something. Like, it's used to describe, maybe, in this case, it's saying how they arrived at the perfect moment, right? They couldn't have spent any more time coming to the scenario they were coming to. They got there just as they needed to be, right? So that's what the phrase is describing in this particular instance. So phrases describe things happening in a specific way. Whereas the clause more so is about something having happened. I'm not sure I'm explaining that well. Please, if somebody wants to further add to this, I'll go ahead and read from the book I have here about phrases and clauses, right? But the phrase, so a phrase is a group of words that acts as a single part of speech. It can act like any part of speech, such as a noun, adjective, adverb, or a preposition. And a phrase never includes the subject of the sentence acting through a verb, right? Whereas a clause is a group of words that includes at least a subject and a verb. So a phrase includes the subject, but it doesn't include a verb. Whereas a clause includes a verb. That's the only thing. So a clause includes an action. Phrase does not. That's really the main difference. And if there's a little bit more elaboration on that, you guys can, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. Inform me. I'm always trying to get better at teaching you guys basic stuff about English, but pretty much a clause involves an action, a phrase does not. All right? Now, to get you familiar with nouns, adjectives, adverbs, and verbs, I gave you guys a sentence right here at the bottom here that says, the small dog runs quickly. Now, what do you think small is in this case? That's right, small is an adjective. And that adjective is being used to describe the dog, which is that's right, it's a noun. All right? The dog is doing what? That's right, the dog is running, or in this case, in the proper sentence that we put here, the dog runs, right? So the small dog runs. What's runs? That's right, it's a verb. And finally, what is quickly in this sentence? in the sentence quickly is the adverb. All right. So that's just a example sentence and some definitions to help us get started on our journey into grammar and proper English. And I hope you guys learned something. If you do have any questions, if you want to correct me about anything, please do it respectfully. Do it in the comment section. Tag me, at me at Shinrai Sensei 15 on Twitter. And please feel free to leave me any constructive criticism, and I will look forward to seeing you guys in the next episode. At any point in time, by the way, if you want to, you can take a screenshot of these definitions, and I will be more than happy for you guys to use them as study materials. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.